I'm Dr. Rachel Cannon. I'm an assistant professor at the Boston University School of Medicine and the Ryan Residency Program Director for the OBGYN residency at Boston Medical Center. I'm also a clinical trainer for the Partners in Contraceptive Choice and Knowledge program. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build your own model for vaginal insertion of an IUD in the postpartum setting. Even experienced providers who do IUD insertions regularly can find postpartum IUD insertions challenging. While there's the benefit of the cervix being dilated postpartum, this benefit is offset by a different path of insertion of the IUD. A non-pregnant uterus feels different than one immediately postpartum. At PICCK, we encourage hospitals that are going to start doing postpartum IUD insertions to obtain a way for clinicians to practice on a model prior to doing their first insertion. The PICCK team can provide on-site training, but we know that this may be limited due to the coronavirus pandemic, and individual providers might want a way for additional practice on their own time. A low-fidelity model can be created with two components. This model can be used on its own or placed in a pelvic trainer that your institution may have, especially if you're at a teaching institution. If you don't have a pelvic model to use, you can use this model propped up on books or have someone hold it in place for you. If you do not want to build your own model, you can purchase a Mama U model at Layerdale. Like the low-fidelity model, this model was designed for practice for all three modes of IUD insertion, with your hand, with an instrument, and with a packaged IUD inserter. The first step to building your own low-fidelity model will be to acquire the materials. You'll need 4 items, all of which are available for purchase online. The outer shell of the model is a neoprene double bottle wine bag. The bag needs to be a double to approximate the width of a postpartum uterus. Single bottle wine bags could work if you're just practicing postpartum IUD insertion with an instrument, but the double wine bag allows for insertion with hands. Of note, this shape double wine cooler will not work, so make sure you can see an image of the wine bag that you're purchasing. We won't explore all 3 techniques for inserting a postpartum IUD in this video, but you can learn more about each technique on our website. The second piece of equipment you will need is a fleece-lined camping stuff sack, the kind that you put your jacket into to use as a pillow when you sleep while camping. This size is a 10-liter capacity. The fleecy material inside the camping stuff sack approximates the feel of a newly postpartum uterus. The drawstring will allow you to cinch the opening of the wine bag so that it is not fully closed and approximates the dilation of a postpartum cervix. The drawstring will also allow you to practice with different degrees of dilation. If you want to practice insertion with your hand, the opening needs to be wider than if you're using an inserter. The third item you will need is a model IUD. You can get samples from pharmaceutical representatives. Most offices have these already, but if yours doesn't, your representative will be happy to send you a model. You will also need a seam ripper or scissors to help assemble the model. In summary, you'll need a neoprene double wine bag, a camping stuff sack with a fleece lining, a model IUD, and a seam ripper or scissors. Now I'm going to walk you through the steps to create your own postpartum IUD model. Take a seam ripper or a pair of scissors and take out the stitching of the middle divider between the 2 compartments of the wine cooler. This part here is what we want to take out. I am going to start taking out the seam to show you how careful of a process it is. Folding back the neoprene bag will help you to expose the stitches. If you pierce or cut the bag, it will not reduce your ability to use it. After the first few stitches, the thread becomes looser. At the end, the stitches are closer together. It can take a while, and for the sake of time, we will continue on this one that I've already taken the full seam out of. It should look like this when done. Next, you will fold back the top flaps. You can also cut them off, but it isn't necessary, like this. Then you will put your stuff sack inside the cooler, fleece side facing in, like this. We will cuff the stuff sack around the outside of the cooler like this, and then use the drawstring to create the cervix opening like this. You can adjust the cinch size to approximate different dilations of the cervix, and the model is created. To practice, you can put this model inside a pelvic model if you have one, but propping it up on a stack of books or having someone hold it in place for you works just fine. Now you're ready to practice with your chosen postpartum IUD insertion technique.